Hi, this is Sylvia Carrizales with TejanoNation.net, and we are here with Mr. Pete Astudillo, who needs no introduction, but singer, songwriter, dancer, I don't know, triple, quadruple threat, I don't even know. Just an honor to talk to you and to have you here. And first of all, how are you doing?
Silvia, I'm doing very well y primeramente un saludo para ti y para todos los amigos que nos están viendo en donde sea que estén. I know it's already close to being March, but I think it's still valid to say happy 2024 to everyone out there and my best wishes. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you Tejano Nation for taking the time. I'm extremely humbled and blessed to be here and talking to you and very excited to share with everybody what we're doing.
Great. Well, I usually don't get fangirl or starstruck, but I am with you, so I'm going to try to relax. But just
you got this.
You're an icon. You're a legend in Tejano music history. So and present, and future. But obviously you started off. Well, tell us how you started off. I'll let you tell the story.
Well, I kind of started off like everybody else does, I'm from Laredo, Texas, down by the border. I know we get a lot of bad rep for the border, but the border is good, puro 956, como dice Grupo Frontera. But born and raised there in Laredo, Texas, from Mexican parents from Guerrero. And very humble beginnings. My family, we were migrant workers. We were farm workers. I'm the firstborn in this country from both sides of my family. And that's what we started doing when my parents came here to the States. And we worked in Idaho and Colorado, Wyoming, Montana. And we did that till I was about 13 years old. So I worked in the fields with my parents doing, thinning beets, potatoes, and you name it. So I get to live that lifestyle, which is really hard, but it was also very fulfilling in the sense of the community, in the sense of the family union, the unity between the family and working as a family. And after that, we got into the restaurant business, and then kind of the same thing. The whole family got into it. I was a dishwasher there, and then I became a cook with the rest of my siblings were, waiters and waitresses, and everybody, the whole family was involved. And it was really not till I was about 1985, which is I went to college for a couple of years, and then I also got in the restaurant business for a little bit, but music was always calling me. It was something that was very personal. Kind of nobody knew about it because I don't come from a musical family. Like I said, we were migrant workers. My dad's un ranchero. Mi mamá también rancheros.
Well, and we're going to get back to the migrant worker theme because that has to do with what we're going to talk about later, your latest, newest single. But so where do you think the music came from? When did you realize, first of all, that you could sing and that you have this incredible talent for composing, writing music?
I think I knew from a very young, I knew that I liked it. That's what I wanted to say. I knew that because when we would go to church, I'd be singing like there was no tomorrow, and because that was my escape, singing. And other times I was very shy about it. And since, like I said, we don't come from a musical family, I wasn't exposed to it. My mom had a real pretty voice, and once in a while I would hear her singing in the kitchen. So I think the music part came from my mom, not from my dad, because my dad, as much as he loved singing, had a horrible voice, but he loved it. He had the passion for it. He just didn't have he didn't have the pipes. My mom did. But when I was a kid, like I said, in school, when everybody hated music class, I loved music class. And and I was singing my head off, and same thing in church. And then I started writing little poems, like little poems for my mother, and just things that would interest me as a child or as a kid. And then that grew very slowly because, like I said, I went to junior high, I went to high school, I went to a couple of years of college, I worked in the family business, and it was, I think it was about 22 or 23. I said, you know what, I have this passion for this that nobody knows about, and I just need to expose it. I need to do something. So I went back into college and started taking music classes. And that's where I kind of got the bug, I could say. And
you got more training.
A little bit more training. I started taking vocal lessons. And then I met Joe Ojeda in Laredo.
And Joe Ojeda, of course, was Selena's keyboardist.
Selena's keyboard player and arranger, along with the rest of the band. And we met in 1985. And he was looking for a singer. I was looking for a way to get started. And it was just fate. We met through a mutual friend, and we formed a little band called the Bad Boys in 1985, 86. And we were like, it was just two of us. It was him on the keyboards and little drum machines, really rinky-dinky equipment, but he made it work and sound really well. And I would sing, and that was the beginning of our musical career. We were the Bad Boys. It was a two-man band. And since my oldest brother was still in the restaurant business, he had a catering service, and he had a reception hall. So we started getting a lot of work through him. Like he would recommend us, like when somebody would go and was going to get married, or it was a quinceañera and they didn't have money for a full band, he would recommend us. He goes, "Hey, my brother's super cheap.
Why don't you?" They are a band.
They're a two-man band, but they make a lot of noise. And we kind of got known for that there in Laredo, and that's how we started playing a little bit more. We couldn't get our break because a lot of places wouldn't hire us because there were only two of us. Like the clubs and the bailes and all that.
Full band. Huh?
Yes, until one time we were playing at a flea market in Laredo, Texas, and this DJ, the Bird, El Locutor número 2, very famous DJ who then later went on to do the recording for La Carcacha.
He did the intro to La Carcacha.
And also the intro for the live album, the one that Grammy.
Right.
The Costa Costa, de Frontera Frontera.
There's the
That's
voice,
the Bird.
yeah.
He was doing a remote that at this flea market we were playing at, and he saw me and said hello to me. We didn't know each other very, very well, but we knew each other. And he thought I was shopping at the flea market. And I go like, no, I'm playing. I have a little duet. And we're playing here on the side. It was hot as heck in Laredo. And he goes, I'm going to go check you out. He goes, please do so. I'd like to get your opinion. And he went over and saw us, and he saw our set. And he goes like, wow, you guys are really good. And he goes, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, you can sing. Joe's really good on the keyboards. You guys make a lot of noise for two people.
Wow. So would you say he is integral, or sorry?
He's really integral. He's the one that asked me, he goes, why don't you play at the clubs, or why don't you play at the bailes, or why don't you play here and there? He goes, I know because I told him, I'm mostly doing privates with my brother, and whenever they hire us. And I told him, literally, I don't play at the clubs or at the bailes or the concert because I've offered myself to everyone, and everybody rejects me, even for free. Because we were not known, first of all. And then it was only two of us. So we're like, what can two people do? And anyway, so
it's a tough business.
It's a really tough business. So we got rejected all over the place, even offering ourselves for free. So he told me, you know what, I'm going to help you out. And at that time, he was also the DJ of a club in Laredo, a very famous club locally in Laredo. It was a disco. It was called Roxy's. And it was a disco, but on Tuesday, they would have Tejano night. So he got us in there one night, and of course, nobody wanted to go see us because nobody knew who we were except our family. But then he told me, you know what, I need to bring you back here. And the management said the same thing, because we need to bring you guys because we like what you do. We just need to bring you back when there's a popular band playing, and that way you can get exposure. We're not going to pay you, but you're going to get exposure.
Still no pay, huh?
No pay. So that day came, and he called me. He goes, you know what? Selena and Los Dinos are playing. He goes, would you like to open up for them?
Had you heard of her? But
I had heard of her. I wasn't, and this is the honest truth. I know I'm exposing maybe too much. I wasn't a huge Tejano fan at that time because I was more into rock and roll and, mariachi and mariachi like this one up here and other things and rock and roll. I mean, that's what I like to listen to. But I didn't know who she was because in Laredo she was very popular. And I knew who La Mafia was, and I knew who Mas, and Little Joe, the big bands. I knew who they were. So, but I wasn't like a huge fan, and I didn't have all the information. Nonetheless, we played that, opened up the show for her that night. It's a long story, so I'm gonna keep it really short. But we didn't make a very good impression at the beginning because, like, once again, it was only two of us, and I think Abraham was concerned, like, what are these guys gonna do? It's only one guy playing and one guy singing. So I didn't think we didn't start up on the right foot. And I won't get into too many details, but we landed on the right foot. Because after the show, that's what matters. And after the show that night, AB came over, and Suzette and Selena. We were picking up our equipment, and then we talked a little bit, and they were so kind and generous. And then Abraham came over, and he asked me, like, who's your manager? And like, there's no manager. Who does your bookings? There's no bookings. So he goes, this is just Joe and I. This is what you see. This is it. We're roadies. We're the musicians. We're the singers. And he literally handed me a card, and he goes, do you want to work? I might be saying this story a little different because it's been almost 40 years ago. Yeah. But bottom line, he goes, do you want to work? I go, yes, I'd love to work. He goes, give me a call. Wow. And I called him, and he hired us to open up the shows for Selena. So we were the opening act.
And that's important. That's like I said, an integral part of Tejano music history, because you ended up, later collaborating, writing some of Selena's biggest hits. What were the biggest hits that you were a part of for Selena when she was at her prime?
Oh my God, I've been extremely blessed and very fortunate that I co-wrote a lot of her music along with her brother AB, and along with her too. I think the first song that I ever wrote with AB was Bitty Bitty Bum Bum. And then we did, not Bitty, that's a lie. I wrote Bitty Bitty Bum Bum with Selena.
That was her first time writing.
Yes,
okay.
I meant to say Besitos. Besitos was the first song that I wrote with AB. And then after that we wrote Como la Flor, Amor Prohibido, La Carcacha, Si Una Vez, Que Creías, Tecnocumbia, Baila Esta Cumbia.
All the big ones.
Like I said, and then Bitty Buddy Bum Bum. Bitty Bitty Bum Bum. Why did this song give me a hard time today? Bitty Bitty Bum Bum. I co-wrote with her, and also Enamorada de Ti. And then,
that was a good one too.
So I was to this day, I'm not lying. Thank God for all the blessings. I've been extremely blessed. I mean, I've been giving so much more that I could have asked for. And just to be part of as an opening band would have been sufficient for me. And then to be part of Los Dinos. Yes. And then to co-write music with AB, with her, with Ricky Vela. And then to be part of Los Dinos, with Chris and Suzette and Joe and everyone. I mean, and then...
Because without you, it wouldn't have been the same. The magic that is Selena and was her music and her. Without you, it would have been different.
I think so. And I think not just me, but I think that every person in that band is an integral part of that band. Mm-hmm. I mean, starting with the foundation, which is the family, of course, Suzette, AB, and Selena. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Ricky Vela comes into play. At the time, Chris was not in the band. It was Jesse Ibarra was the guitar player. Mm-hmm. And then Joe and I came in, and I think it was like a puzzle. Mm-hmm. And all the puzzles started coming into play. And then Chris was the last piece of the puzzle. And the chemistry between us, all of us. And like I always say this because it's the truth, is that I get a lot of credit for the music, like for writing the songs along with AB and with Ricky and Selena. And of course, Selena gets all the credit in the world because she deserves it, rightfully so. But behind each song is an army of people, arrangers, producers, engineers, technicians. So each song, I know we get a lot of the credit, but there's a lot of the unsung heroes, the people behind the scenes that don't get the credit. So I like to tell everybody that it takes a lot of people to put a song together, and I'm grateful for the credit. I'm sure AB is grateful for the credit, and of course Selena deserves all the credit. But the whole band, Suzette, Ricky, Joe, Chris, all of us, everybody put in their ponían su granito de arena, and that's what would create the songs. And of course, Selena built the hell out of them.
Yeah, exactly. And where did the dancing part come from? Did you like to dance? Was that something else that you kept secret, or?
No, actually, I loved to dance since I was a kid. I've always been a very hyper kid. I was shy, like when I said I was shy when it was about like singing or performing, because I don't come from that, but I love to dance. So when I joined the band, of course, Selena's an incredible dancer, so we never really rehearsed. It was kind of like...
It looked good.
No, the thing is, she would do something, and then I kind of would look at her, and I would just kind of join in, and then AB would kind of do the same thing, and then like on the next show, okay, we would do it again, okay, and then she would add some more. Okay, I'm gonna follow her some more. So I was just really reading what she was doing, and I would be following her. And then it got to a point that we knew each other so well that the chemistry was there, and we would it just became organic, I guess you could call it. But I can honestly tell you, not the music part. I'm talking to the dancing part. We never rehearsed ever.
Really?
Ever.
Because it looked so smooth and flawless and flowed. And what was it like to dance with her?
Well, she made it look like that. I mean, like I said, I love to
No,
dance.
you
and
did your part.
I gave my little.
were just standing there.
No, I put in my part, but she was an amazing dancer, and it really flowed that way because she was really leading me. To be honest with you, I was like, okay, where are we going? Where are we going? You take me, I'll go there. But it was a lot of fun. Bottom line, it was so much fun being on stage with all of them, performing each night, no matter if it was 20 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. Each night was magical. It was the chemistry was amazing, the camaraderie was amazing, and it's just a love and a passion for what we were doing. And we were young. We were a bunch of dummies, you know. I sort of got, I think we didn't even realize at that point what we were doing.
How big you were.
And the impact that the music was having. We were just having so much fun.
That's awesome. And you could tell, the fans could tell. That's why we loved it. We looked forward to your shows and seeing you all together, you know. And singing with Selena, you know, you sang numerous duets with her. What was that like? Because obviously she was an awesome dancer, but she was known for that voice. How was it singing? Was that intimidating to you at all, or how was that?
Yeah. First of all, it was super intimidating for me because I had no experience before. I mean, I did what I did with Joe with the Bad Boys, but I had never been in a studio before. So everything that I learned, I mean, Selena y Los Dinos was my college, my high school, my junior high, my everything. Because I mean, it was like a crash course.
Music education.
Exactly. And the thing is, even though she was a lot younger than me, she had been doing it for so much longer, and her professionalism was amazing. So it was intimidating for me to be on stage with all of them, and then with Selena. But when we did the first duet, which was Amame, Quiereme, I was so nervous. You know what? That's not true. I was so confident at first because I thought like...
You're like, I got this.
I got this. I got this. Everybody move back. Pete Astudillo walking in the studio, and I walked out like, plump, womp, womp. The thing is, I was really pumped. I was so excited I was going to sing a duet with her. And then I failed horribly. I was out of tune. My timing was horrible. And then the more they would tell me, the more nervous I would get, and the worse it would get. So the bottom line, that day when we went to the studio to record that song, I didn't record it. They kind of told me, okay, go home, do your homework, practice. And I think I literally went to the bus and I cried. Wow. I was so disappointed in myself, and then I was so disappointed in letting everybody down. I was just like, it was so bad.
You took it hard.
I took it really hard because I thought I really thought I was prepared, and I thought I'm good at this. Like, I got this, and it was an eye opener. But at the same time, everybody was so cool, and of course, Selena came up to the bus. Said, "You know, you're gonna do great. You just gotta rehearse." And she was so encouraging with everybody else. And then I went back in, and I did my job, and I did it, and I was like,
that was beautiful.
Yes, and it's, to me, it still amazes me when we did that duet, because at the time Selena wasn't like a huge star, but she was already well known. She was a working artist. They were a working band. She was already known. She had won some Tejano awards, and for AB, Mr. Quintanilla, the whole band, whoever decided, I think AB had a lot to do with it, to say, you know what, we're gonna do a duet with Selena, right? Let's get Pete to do it. Nobody knows him. He's a completely unknown. Let's get him to do it. And I'm like,
what could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong here? So to me, like, that just showed me the trust they had in me,
confidence,
the opportunity that they gave me, the fact that Selena could have said, like, how about we get somebody else that people know? How about we get somebody else famous? But she didn't. She was encouraging, and she was the nicest person. And that just goes to show you her personality and the kind of person that she was, and the whole band, the whole institution.
That's awesome. And I'm glad she let you do it, because the songs, like I said, wouldn't be the same it's part of Tejano music history. They're legendary songs now. Amame, Quiereme. What were the other?
We did Amame, Quiereme, and then we did Yo Te Amo.
Oh, yes.
And then the last one that we did was Siempre Estoy Pensando en Ti.
Oh,
Porque
okay.
siempre estoy pensando en ti. Are you going to sing it?
No, I'm not going to sing it. Why did I do that? No. But yeah, so I guess so that was a big, part of your career, obviously. But then you were starting to get known for your voice on your own. So tell us the next chapter involves your solo career.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people don't realize this or don't know this, or maybe they don't do the math correctly, but I started recording solo stuff when I was still with Selena y Los Dinos. Because my first album that came out, because I got signed separately to Capital EMI, because Abraham was my manager. So he kind of pushed it, and he got me a deal through Capital. So my first album that came out was Entrégate a mí, which is in 1992. I was still part of Selena y Los Dinos, and that's where Porque le gusta bailar cumbia. And Perdona.
That's on the live album.
That's
right?
also on the live album. Perdóname. Un hombre busca una mujer. So all those songs were in that first. So in other words, I was recording my solo stuff when I was still part of Selena, and then I did Como Nadie, which was Vas a llorar, and so I did that second album. So in 1994, latter part of 93, that's when Abraham suggested, and he thought it was time for me to go solo. I know in the movie and in the series, they make it sound like I wanted to leave, and the truth be told, I was so happy there. I didn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, things were going great. The shows were amazing. We had a great buzz. We had a road crew. Things were great, and now I have to go solo. But he was my manager, so I had to listen to him. Plus, I was going to continue still working with Los Dinos. I was going to continue to still write with the band for Selena. And I was still touring with them, because I would tour with Pete Astudillo. And for a lot of shows in 94, I would open up for Selena y Los Dinos, and then I would go change, and then I would jump on stage.
So you were doing double duty.
I was doing double duty, and it was a lot of fun. And then to the latter part of 94, they did a lot of shows, and I wasn't part of them, and I wish I would have been there. And including the Houston show, I was no longer there. Because I was doing some other things. They were doing these massive shows, Of course, Selena was amazing. They were doing amazing at that time. But the reason I left, like I said, it was more Abraham being my manager, and he thought it was time for me to part ways. But I still kept writing. I still kept the relationship with the band, a friendly relationship, a musical relationship. And after that, unfortunately, we lost Selena. And then I continue with my solo career.
So a major part of your career is the song that you wrote. I know it was partly for Selena, but mostly for your mother. Is that correct? Como Te Extraño, which that is another song that's part of Tejano music history now. How did that song come about?
Well, Como Te Extraño is a song that I wrote with Abraham Quintanilla and with Joe Ojeda. And that song was written after Selena passed. My mom passed away in April 11th, 1994, and we lose Selena almost to a year to the date. So I was barely recovering from my mom, and this happens, and it was just a horrible time for me. I mean, for everyone. And when we all took time off, and everybody, we tried to heal, but we had to continue working. So when we were going to get back in the studio to work with AB on the next album, he had the idea of writing something. And it was kind of funny because we kind of had the same ideas in our head. We hadn't talked about it. But when we finally did, he wanted to write something for Sal, and I wanted to write something for my mom. He goes, yeah, me too. That'd be cool if we could incorporate both things because they were so close to each other. So that was the idea, to write something for my mom, write something for Sal, but at the same time, write something for the audience, something for the people so they can make their own. Like we all have personal losses, everyone.
That's true.
So this was a song that was therapeutic for us, for the reasons that for my mom, for Selena, but it was also a gift for everyone for their own personal healing. So that was the idea behind it. I think we captured. And that's why we didn't want to mention, in the song, we didn't want to mention death, We don't mention Selena. We don't mention my mom. We just mention the longing, the wanting, how hard it is, and missing someone so bad. And it really did capture that feeling because I've had so many people. I mean, the obvious thing is Selena, of course, but I mean, hundreds, thousands of people come up to me like, I hear that song, it reminds me of my mom, my grandma, my kids. You know, I got divorced and I don't see my kids anymore. Like, and it was just so many different applications, and people made it their own, and that was the idea behind the song.
Wow. And how did you get through? I know you had to do some live performances, right, of that song. How did you get through that? I mean, that's professional. That's awesome. But how did you do it?
That song, I'm telling you the truth. That's one of the. Depending on the moment and where I'm at and stuff, but it's so hard for me to sing sometimes still. But I still gotta do it because that's the song everybody wants to hear. So I try to be in the moment, because if I dig too deep, I'll get too emotional. Yeah, because I go, why am I singing this? I'm singing to make these people happy. That's what they want. They're enjoying it. Because if I go in too deep, it'll take me there. So that's the way I try to deal with it. But I mean, sometimes I do lose it. Sometimes it's a tough one. It really is.
It's a touching song. It's just really, it gets everyone. And I guess now, what do you want to talk about now? I mean, now you're releasing music again.
Yes.
And tell us about that, because like I said, it has to do with the song Esta es pa mi Raza. Yep. Talks about, a timely issue, which is like, immigration, migrant workers. And I know, like you said, you're proud of being a first generation American citizen in your family. So that song is important because you actually lived that life. But tell us about how this song came about.
Well, this new single, Esta es pa mi Raza, which is available everywhere on all the digital platforms. And this is the first song I ever do that way, because I'm kind of old school and I've never done this, but I said, this is the way I gotta work. This is the way I gotta work. It's a song that I wrote last year, I want to say about August, September. And I was just being a little nostalgic. I no longer have my parents anymore. And I think I was by myself at the house, just maybe having a little glass of wine, maybe one too many, but I get a little emotional, and I started thinking about my mom and dad and my family. And I said, you know what? I've written songs about so many different things. Of course, Como Te Extraño for my mom, for Selena. I've never written a song for my family, and that was my internal thoughts. Mm-hmm. And I'm just there thinking, like, and I believe that I've never written anything for my Raza. And I go, oh, wow, this one's, I need to write one para mi raza. And Estas pa mi Raza kind of came to be, like, Estas pa mi Raza. So I kind of started just talking about my parents' journey, my parents' sacrifices for us, and the story of our life, of my family. And the more I would write it, I mean, in my head, because I don't play an instrument. Mm-hmm. I kind of write in my head, and I write the lyrics and the melodies at the same time. I know it's not conventional, but it works for me. So I'm kind of... You
have awards to prove it, too.
Well, thank you very much. So I kind of started throwing, soy de gente muy humilde, pero muy trabajadora. Mm-hmm. Mi familia es de rancho. Oye, somos puro corazón. Mis padres se la rifaron por el sueño americano, buscando un mejor futuro para mí y mis hermanos. And that kind of came to me like, okay, cool, I got there. So then I just kind of started telling the story of my family. And also, this song was not supposed to come out. This was just supposed to be for me, for my family, a tribute to my family, and I was just gonna record it and send it all to all my siblings, but mis primos, la tía, el tío, for Christmas. It was supposed to be a Christmas gift for my family, like saying this is a tribute to our family. But during the process of recording it, the people that were working on it, they're like, oh, this is a great song. When are you going to put it out? Like, I'm not going to put it out.
Because it's a song about your family, but it's also a universal theme of many families.
Well, that's what everybody would tell me. He goes, you know what? I know what you're saying. You don't want to put it out because it's too personal. He goes, but that's his story, my story, and his story, and the story
American dream,
The American dream. And the more I thought about it, you know what? I should. And then I also felt bad because the people that played on it, like René Gasca, who played on No Me Queda Más, the trumpet player, and I think he played on Bidi Bidi Bom Bom too. He worked on it. Ruben Vargas, an incredible mariachi guy from Laredo. Billy Thatcher on guitar. Bird's even there. The Bird threw a couple of gritos in there. and then we used some people also from Guadalajara. Wow. Or Torreon. They did some, because I know this is not a traditional Tejano song.
I was going to say, it almost sounds like a corrido. You're telling a story.
Yeah, exactly. It is kind of a corrido, and that's why we started off in mariachi, and then we're going to go a little bit into banda, which is also a connection to my roots. My family's from Guerrero, and that's what they listen to there. So everything was intentional, but the intentional part was not to put it out, but now that we put it out, like I have to explain, I know it's not a Tejano song, I'm a Tejano, and that's what people know me for, but this was supposed to be very personal, but I'm hoping that the message resonates with people, that this is the song for the working man, for the working woman, for the working class, the people that work day after day searching for that American dream.
And I think my Spanish is not the best, but I think you even say something about, the jobs that they do. Why are people, envious or maybe...
Yeah, because we always get that,
we're
taking jobs away. And this is not like undocumented people that live here, people, Mexicanos, Latinos, South Americans, Central Americans, people... And he said, well, we're not taking them away. Nobody wanted to do them. And that's why I'm saying, when we were working in the fields back in the day, I don't remember anybody trying to take our jobs away, saying that we want to do that, because it was really hard work. But like I said, it's a tribute. It's a humanitarian side. I know it's a very touchy subject. I know it's the politics behind it is very touchy. But this is the humane part, the human side of just wanting.
Because you live this. This is not just a song for you.
Yeah, and it's just about going for that American dream and the sacrifices that my parents did for me. And I know I'm first generation in this country. And I know you might be second, third, fourth, fifth, and maybe say, well, I can't relate because I've been here all my life. But you know what? At some point, somebody did do that for you, and that's why you have the life that you have now. Your great-grandparents, somebody came from Mexico, because we weren't born in this country. But if you're second, third, fourth, or fifth generation, you need to say thank you to great-great-great-great-grandpa.
Somebody made that trip and made the struggle and the sacrifice.
Somebody made a struggle, but you have a better life at some point.
That's so true.
And that is bottom line, the message behind it, the message of, of being grateful, being thankful. And that's what I'm saying. I'm thankful for my family, for my parents, the sacrifices that they made for me, so I can be here talking to you at this beautiful restaurant, and for me to have the life that I had. Even though I worked in the fields, even though I was a dishwasher, I was able to go from the fields, from washing dishes, to some of the biggest stages in the world, next to an incredible band.
And to one of the most, iconic performers and singers
of all
in
time.
The world of all time. So, again, the name of the song and where people can get it.
Esta pa' mi raza, available on all digital platforms. So go check it out, go get it, download it, share it, enjoy it, send it to your friends, send it to your grandpa, to grandma, so they might also think about their beginnings or how they got here. Send it to everyone. We're also going to be doing a video, so be on the lookout for the video. And
is it going to be part of a bigger, like an album, or can people what music can we be expecting from you? Not to put you on the spot. But
no. This is going to be part of an album. This is the first of well, not the first. Actually, I have some other songs that I did before this one, but I hadn't released. So I'm going to start releasing singles, and then when I have the whole album together, I'm going to be releasing it probably by the end of the year. So and it's going to be a mix. We're going to go back to our Tejano roots. I didn't forget my Tejano roots.
You're so good at Tejano.
Yes. I got some cumbias. I got some Tejano stuff. Maybe even some little conjunto in there. But, we get a little bit of everything. So my Tejano roots are my Tejano roots, my Mexicano roots, and it's a fusion of both. But, I can't forget either. I mean, Tejano's been good to me, continues to be good to me, and I never forget about my Raza Tejana. And that's who I am, and that's who I'll always be. And I know this is not a Tejano song, but it's been being sung by a Tejano.
It's the life of many Tejanos too, yes. In the beginnings. So I guess what else, is there anything else you want to say to the viewers of TejanoNation.net?
Well, to all the viewers of Tejano Nation, I just want to say thank you so much. I've been doing this, believe it or not, for almost 40 years. And I am so grateful for the support, for liking the music that we do, for loving the music, for going to our dances, for buying a t-shirt, for buying a ticket, for requesting a song on the radio. From the Selena days to my solo career to now, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for so many years of love and devotion. I'm going to give it right back to you.
That's so awesome. And thank you for joining us. It was such an honor for me to talk to you, you know.
On the contrary, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So we are here, in case you're wondering if this looks familiar to you, we are at Mi Tierra, which is, of course, in downtown historic Market Square in San Antonio, Texas. And why are we here? You tell me why.
I think we thought we get to get some tacos, no?
Some margaritas, maybe?
Enchiladas, tacos, margaritas. All the food is good.
Maybe this place has a special meaning to you. So
the reason I asked you and I requested it because this place, I mean, I know it's iconic. Everybody in San Antonio and Texas and probably around the world knows this place. But in all honesty, this used to be one of the places back in the day when we would play in the San Antonio area or even at Tejano Music Works and stuff like that. We would come here with the whole band, with Mr. Quintanilla, with Marcy, todos los muchachos, the whole band. And Abraham, this was before Selena was huge. So this is like about 89. And Abraham would make us sing. He would Pete sing a song. And then Selena sing a song. So every time I walk in here, it reminds me of that. You know, those, being here like because of course, you know, the awards would end or a dance would end. And this place opens forever.
It was open 24 hours.
24 hours. So we'd be like 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And Abraham would like los ponía a cantar. So it holds a very special place for me because it reminds me of my beginnings with the band, and it reminds me of Selena singing here. Can you imagine Selena singing at Mi Tierra Restaurant?
That would have been awesome to see.
I know there's some pictures out there. As a matter of fact, I think I have some. But it just goes to show you how the world turns, how things are. Here I am, you know, almost 40 years, you know, 35 years later, and I mean, it's a fantastic institution still. And thinking of her and thinking of my humble beginnings with them, it's super special to be here.
That's so awesome. And at one point, I don't know if they still have it, but they had a picture of Selena here at the entrance. So
I think
maybe we'll go look for that and take pictures there. But yeah, that's why we're here at Mi Tierra.
And also for the tacos.
And then for the food, of course.
And the margaritas. Don't forget the margaritas.
Very good food, too. Can I do one last thing? Can I ask? Because I saw you dancing with Jesse Turner and I got jealous. And I said, I want the chance to dance with Pete Astudillo.
Yes, of course you can dance. Yes, the whole thing.
Yay! Got that dancing footwork going on.
Look at the trigger.
Am I doing better than Jesse?
Yes, you. Of course you do. Thank you.